What's up guys, my name is Doug. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, welcome back if you are not new. Today we are going to be listening to James Blake's new album, Assume Form. Now, I was going to do a future reaction, but I put out a poll and the majority of you guys just said listen to it on your own time and just give us a review because it's not that great. I've heard a lot of mediocre reviews about it, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to listen to The Wizard on my own time and I'm going to put out a review of it. But I heard a lot of good things about this new James Blake project, and when I saw that it was just 12 tracks, I was like, alright, yeah, I don't care what they want. They're getting a reaction to this. So I'm excited to be listening to this, honestly, because I've heard a lot of good things about James Blake. I'm not really too familiar with him, The only real thing that I've ever heard from him that I can remember, that I know of, is really his bridge on Stop Trying to Be God, which I think is one of the better parts of that song. I think it's tremendous. I thought it was so interesting how someone who sings the way that he does would be able to collab with someone like Travis Scott on the same song and make it work. So tremendously talented. Yeah, man, I'm excited to say the least. I'm really glad you guys are here. My social media has probably flashed on screen by now, and I just want to say, if you've got any music that you want to be reviewed, if you make music and you've got a project that you want me to listen to, hit me up on my Instagram. That's where I keep track of all the submissions for not only putting y'all on, but for people who have their own projects that they want me to listen to. You can just hit me up on Instagram. We'll talk about that. And yeah, man, that's really the only thing that I've got to announce. Let's just get right into it. The first track is Assume Form, and this is Assume Form by James Blake. Let's get it.
Now I'm confiding, no I'm ahead. You know.
Wow.
This is the thing. You know. Ashamed of when you touch me, I wonder.
Feels like a weight holding your body down in a pool of water, barely reaching your
This time I will be touchable.
How am I supposed to react to this? This is so weird.
When you touch me, I wonder, I always wonder what you could want.
He's singing such an unpredictable melody too. It's so strange. Man, this introduction is so different and so experimental. It almost sounds like he's singing off beat, but in reality there really isn't a beat that's going on. It's just hi-hats keeping time and these really cool chords that the keys are playing, but even the sound they chose for the keys is just so weird. It's like this really plucked, ethereal sound, surreal sound, but just his performance and the notes that he's singing sound like they're just not even in a specific key. It's just so unpredictable, the melody that he's singing. There's really no structure to his verses, to what he's singing. And I mean, I get that it's about leaving the ether and assuming form, like materializing, and it says here that it's about getting out of his own head because he feels lost, and so he wants to join the rest of the world and to find himself, right? And so yeah, this sounds like he's lost, like he has no idea where he's going with what he's singing and what he's doing in the production and all of that. So I think it's interesting. I like that it's conceptual. It's not a track that I would want to go back and listen to, but I like how it fits into the theme of this project. So I think it's a really interesting introduction, to say the least, really. Next is Mile High, featuring Metro Boomin and Travis Scott.
Drive to see ride to who gon' slide, who's in, big rocks round to 10, down to sand. We just be mile high, clubbing on 1,000 miles.
Oh, this is smooth, dude. It's like mellow Travis.
Tell it to you when you speak, got it tatted on.
I don't know when the last time I heard Travis's delivery be so soft. Like, it's wavy and he's got the auto-tune and he manipulates auto-tune so well. Like, I maintain that he's one of the greatest to ever manipulate and use auto-tune, along with people like Young Thug and T-Pain. But I mean, the way he's speaking is so soft, It's almost like he's whispering. Also, I love that. Is that a violin? It sounds so sick. I've got goosebumps and I don't know why. Like, I just really like the way this sounds.
Watch the fan as it spins and my arms wrapped in. I'm missing everything. We just be now, clubbing on 1,000 miles.
I love this. Yo, I love that track. I love the whole mood to it. I love the whole vibe to it. I love the way it sounds. I love their performances. I love the delivery. I love how soft it is. I love the falsettos that they go into. I love the manipulation of the auto-tune. I love the production on this. Metro Boomin went off, and I know it wasn't just produced by him. You know how we are. We give credit to the producers. Dan Fote, James Blake, Wavy, Dre Moon, and Metro Boomin. Yo, y'all did your thing. This track sounds awesome. I really enjoyed that. So, yeah, let's get it. Move on to the next track. Track 3 is Tell Them, featuring Metro Boomin and Moses Sumney. I like his voice. I've never heard anything from him before. The delivery, man.
And the snake is so long, I've got posters up. Tell what you came for.
I love the plucks going on in the background, and it's so interesting to hear someone sing the way that he does on a beat like this. It's crazy. This beat goes hard, bro. Yo, that's another really interesting track, man. I love the feature from Moses Sumney. I had never heard anything from him before. I love the way his voice sounds on this, man. Whoever produced this, I mean, all the people that produced this, along with Metro Boomin, killed this track. This beat sounds amazing. The vibe to it is great, you know, the strings in the background, the plucks, it all sounds so moody, you know, it's great. And James Blake's performance on this is also fantastic, so it's a really cool track. Next is Into the Red.
Longer as I move, everything around behind all the furniture. Paul got no chaser, she's no trader. For a joint account, she gave her from me, she goes way to the red.
Wow.
She watched me lose face every day rather than lose me.
It's different,
She's so every
but it's dope.
face every day rather than lose me.
So he's talking about this woman, right, who's willing to make all these sacrifices for him, and who's willing to go all the way for him and to do everything. She, you know, she's the type of person who never does anything for anybody, but for him, she'll do everything. She'll go way, way into the red. Cool. I just don't like the song, you know. I get that it's not mainstream. I get that it's supposed to sound experimental and different, but it's just the plucking in the background and the strings and all the vocals. I mean, it sounds cool, you know, the way that it's arranged and everything, but it's just like, it's not a song that I would go back and listen to, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds cool, but it's not really for me. That's what I'm trying to say. Next is Barefoot in the Park. Sounds creepy. Oh, that sounds so sick.
What you've done for me needs to hallucinate.
This sounds cool, man. This sounds smooth. It's so sick.
Needs balance. I see you every day.
It's really really smooth track, man. They sound so great together. And like I said, you know, there's a really cool vulnerability in the way that they sing and the way that their voices sound when they sing together. I like the Spanish. I think it sounds so sick. I like that in her performance, she manipulates the words in Spanish. She even cuts out a couple letters to make her performance and her delivery sound even smoother. You know, she cuts out a couple D's, a couple S's that are really harsh sounding letters in the words. She just doesn't even pronounce them. She just flows right over them and keeps it sounding even more smooth, you know? I think it's tremendous. I think it sounds awesome. It's a really smooth track, man. Sounds great. Next is Can't Believe the Way We Flow. The vocals are great in the background. It's a really cool love track. I'm getting almost like a doo-wop 50s vibe from this. Yeah, man, this sounds like a really cool, interesting, different type of love track, you know? Talking about how people can live in harmony, how two people can live in harmony and kind of flow and live together, you know? I think it's cool. I think it sounds great. Like I said, I got a doo-wop, like 50s, 60s type of vibe from it, you know, because of the sample in the background. You know, I think it's a cool track. It's just nice. It's not too special. It's nothing great. It's just a cool track. Next is Are You in Love?
Are you in love? Do your best impression for me. Are you in love? Are we as one?
Those keys are so harsh, man. They really overpower everything. This is better, the keys here. The cutoff filter is so far down. Sounds great.
Now what about mine? Into borrowed time, borrowed time, borrowed time.
The production is so subtle. This sounds really smooth.
I try my hardest for you.
I don't like those really harsh keys in the beginning and in the end, but I think that this track, the production is just so subtle during the verse, you know, when he's actually singing. It sounds so smooth and so perfect for you to just like play in the background to set the mood, dim the lights, just chill, just vibe to it and relax. I think it's an awesome track for that. His voice, there's just something about it that's just so calming, you know? And it's dangerous because I've got to try and like stay energetic and be entertaining during this review, but it's like I'm just so mellowed out because of it, because of his delivery and his performance. I'm like half asleep while I listen, you know. And hopefully this track right here will be a little better, because this is Where's the Catch featuring Andre 3000. I'm assuming this is going to be one of the better tracks off this project, just because Andre 3000 is like, he's just legendary, you know. His features are perfect. So yeah, Where's the Catch?
The show, we kiss so long, we breathe through the nose, everything.
The bass. I love this piano loop.
In the middle, we meet in the sand, and everything's ghost. Where's the catch? There must be. All my pessimistic keeps me in a cage. All my head is twisted, keeps me spinning around for days.
Yeah.
Exorcism, pessimism has arisen. There's no reason, really treason to myself, so silly. So provide me what frightens me, like I know I'm eight, I know I ain't, I know it ain't. Harmony, harmony, how many days of amazing will it be before nothing all of a sudden is falling, it's over though. Come with me, calming me down.
This flow, dude.
My lotion till it's void. Alone when I'm foiled, it back to soil.
Andre vocalizing in the background. so dope, man. Yo, I think that track is really cool, man. It's so different, it's so experimental, but their performances are so great. Andre 3000's verse is awesome. I love his flow. It's just non-stop. The way he plays with the words, man, is just tremendous. That track is awesome. I love that track. Next track is I'll Come Too.
I'm gonna say what I need. If it's the last thing I do to lose. With you. I'm that kind of mood. I'll go in between the cracks between you and him. I don't wanna go. I could go there too. I'm gonna say what I need. If it's the last thing I do, I've got nothing to lose. With you. The cracks between you and him. I don't wanna go.
I think it's just cool, you know?
You don't care what they think. I'm getting there. I could get there too. I'm gonna say what I need.
Look, man, the production's really cool. I like the strings, I like the beat, I like the vocals in the background, but I think it's just a cool track, you know. It's a little underwhelming. I was expecting more, honestly, from James Blake, but you know, it's not bad. It's just okay. Next track is Power On.
But I was wrong. I thought everything could fade, but I was wrong. I thought sex would set my pace, but I was wrong. I thought it mattered what I say, but I was wrong. Everyone, let's go home. Finally, will the waters ever still? That's what I want. From space, I can see that I was wrong. Power on. I thought the table would still be late.
All these songs feel really long, too.
I thought that
You know, I'm going into these tracks really hopeful for an interesting track, you know? And all these tracks just feel really repetitive. Or not all of them. But just recently, they've been feeling really repetitive and long, and I get bored about halfway through, you know? And I wish that wasn't the case. Because this album is starting to get to the point where it's underwhelming to me. And I really wish that weren't the case, you know? Next is Don't Miss It.
everything is about me. I am the most important throughout.
There's so much empty space in the track, you know?
I can never really see in real time. I can never really hold. And as it keeps on going, I can avoid real time. I could ignore my busy mind, wasting my life. I can avoid 2020 inside. Switch off whenever I like.
I don't like this.
I can sleep whenever I like.
Look, man, I get that, you know, these songs are about mental health, and they're about, you know, his depression, and I don't want to talk down on the subject matter, but they're just presented in a way that's just not for me. I don't like the music, you know? The message is fine, it's great. I don't like that song. Last track, Lullaby for My Insomniac.
Happens to you. It's not a failure. You will at some point.
This track was literally made to help someone fall asleep. And I don't like music that wants me to fall asleep, you know? Like, it's cool that he loves somebody enough to make a song to help them sleep because they're an insomniac, and he says that even if you can't fall asleep, I'll just stay up with you, and then we'll both see everything as a blur tomorrow. Like, we'll both just be tired zombies, but we'll be together at least, and we'll both go through the same thing. I think that's cool, but it's just not a song that I will ever go back and listen to again, because I don't like music which goal is to make me fall asleep. You know, its goal is to be calming and boring and slow. You know, he stretches out one word for like 10 seconds at a time. It's crazy. You look at the lyrics and you think this track is 20 seconds long, and it's not. It's 3 minutes and 44 seconds long. This will make a lot of people very happy. This track right here. I'm certain a lot of people needed this track. I didn't like it, and that's okay. Look, man. Assume Form by James Blake had like 4 tracks that I would go back and listen to and keep in rotation out of 12. So that's about a third of the album that I feel I enjoyed enough to go back and listen to. 2/3 of this project are for a very specific niche group of people. And I just don't find myself in that group of people. But it's cool that I listened to it because now I know. I had never listened to James Blake before, and now I know that a lot of his music just isn't really for me, if it's all in the same vein. Still, I am glad that I listened to this because, like I said, now I know. If the rest of his projects are like any similar to this, I won't listen to them. But if they're different, if they've got, you know, if he's got specific tracks that you guys feel I might like, let me know in the comments section. But I'd say for this project, it would probably be unfair for me to grade it because, like I said, none of these tracks are really bad. Like, I can see the positives in all the tracks, but just a lot of them don't feel like they're for me, and I would go back and listen to them. So it's not fair for me to grade this because if I did, I'd probably rate it something way lower than the majority of people that this is for would give it, you know? So I hope that if you disagree with my opinion, we can either agree to just disagree, or we can have a respectful conversation about why we like and dislike the tracks in the comment section. There's no need to be disrespectful. That's just dumb, okay? But yeah, man, like I said, I'm glad I listened to this. And again, if you are not sure whether you want to listen to this or not, give it a listen. It's got some really cool tracks. It's got a lot of experimental production. A lot of stuff sounds really cool on this, you know, and his voice is really soothing if you're into that type of stuff. And again, it's only 12 tracks long, so it's not a huge waste of time if you don't like it. And if you end up enjoying it, then it's just a really cool investment that you made into an artist that you realized you liked. So yeah, listen to this. I'm glad you all stuck around and watched the video. Like I mentioned earlier, if you make music, hit me up on Instagram. I'd really appreciate it if you guys would sponsor the channel on Patreon. It's the patrons who are absolutely 100% the reason that I'm able to keep making these videos for you guys. You can also support the channel by liking these videos, sharing them, commenting below, subscribing to the channel if you have not. I'd really appreciate it if you did any one of those things. Cool? Let me know if you want a reaction to Logic's new track. I haven't heard it yet. The future review should be coming soon, and I'll see you all very soon. Peace.